So the road to WrestleMania has officially begun. We are on the road to WrestleMania now. The Royal Rumble was this Sunday. And Jay, I didn't know, are you ever starting to watch wrestling again now? You said you just got the network. Like, are you watching it now full time?
I'm trying to catch up on some of it. It's probably been well over a decade since I've caught up with a lot of it. I will admit, there's a lot of characters I'm not really into at the moment. Not that I think they're terrible. Like, when they wrestle, they're great performers. It's just the whole story arc is what gets really cheesy and corny at times. But I mean, obviously we need that story to carry something over to the next pay-per-views. But at times, like Nakamura, like, he's just a sushi chef that could do really good kicks and stuff. He's the hugest stereotype in wrestling. And I don't think it's cool to stereotype so drastically. Like, obviously we had Iron Sheik, who's supposed to be like, Middle Eastern dude, whatever. But, like, I don't think every little thing about him was a stereotypical Middle Eastern character. Whereas, like, Nakamura is a stereotypical Japanese guy who's, like, saying his L's his R's, like, her, and all that stuff. But, I mean, so far, John Cena's kind of cool. He's probably not going to be around too much longer.
Nope.
But, and then it's cool to see. I like actually watching when a lot of old timers make appearances and stuff like that, because it's like, man, I remember these guys back in my day. And I think that's what was cool about watching Royal Rumble, too, is it definitely had a lot of that.
One of the, you mentioned Shinsuke Nakamura. I was one of the guys when he came over. I was super excited because he came from New Japan Pro Wrestling. See, that's how excited I am. I knocked my laptop. He came from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh, what do you got? Is that an Ultimate Warrior? Yes, he brings up the Ultimate Warrior hat on the set. I love it.
And I'm gonna put it on the table. Is we got Ultimate Warrior
and the Hulkster.
And Hogan. Originals, too, by the way. Can't find those anywhere else.
Obviously, neither of them in the Rumble. One has passed away, and the other one, there's other reasons why Hulk Hogan's not in the WWE right now. But we'll get to that another time.
Yeah.
I was excited when Nakamura won. Vince McMahon actually gave the fans what we wanted. Asuka, everybody knew that was going to happen because she's undefeated.
Yeah, like, at first I didn't think she was even going to win. I thought maybe she'd be, like, the last one to go out. But after she won, I kind of figured they're just kind of try to lead something up to, like, maybe they're going to potentially have a match in Japan or try to hold something in Japan or whatever. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier with, what was his name?
Nakamura?
Not Nakamura. He was like an Indian wrestler from recent times.
Oh, Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, Mahal. Like, when they were doing that, I feel like they're kind of going to do that, but with, like, two wrestlers now, a male and a female. But, I mean, who knows if that'll even happen. I was also thrown off when there was that climax of Ronda Rousey.
That was the stupidest ending to the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, it was. It stole the
Rumble moment.
Right. It stole the moment of, like, oh, who is she going to choose to fight at WrestleMania?
Exactly.
Because now we don't know. We're not going to know now.
And this is what upsets me too. You build up the women's Royal Rumble. It's the first women's Royal Rumble ever. You build it up to this big thing, and then yes, she wins. She finally gets to win the Royal Rumble. Then Ronda Rousey comes out, points to the WrestleMania sign. It's like, oh, just because you're Ronda Rousey, you just immediately get a title shot? Like, what kind of shit is that?
I already don't care for her to begin with anyway. I mean, I think the only reason she's doing it, even though she is going to be getting probably better pay, and get better, publicity and everything, the only reason she's doing it now is because she doesn't have to worry about getting her ass kicked so severely like she was in UFC. I mean, she was a big-time winner, but then she started having a lot of losses, and a lot of those losses were starting to really, like, go fast. I mean, the last time she fought, she got knocked out by a kick in, like, less than a minute in the first round.
The funny thing is, but I'm actually surprised. She didn't sign a part-time deal like Brock Lesnar or anything. She signed
that's the thing, too. She did a full-time deal.
So she's going to do live events. Live events are events that are not televised for WWE, who those of you are watching this. But she's going to do live events, house shows, pay-per-views, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, which is shocking to me.
Oh, yeah.
So WrestleMania, if she comes in with the title shot, I think that's just going to piss a lot of fans off.
Oh, it will.
Because she just walks in and gets whatever she wants.
Yeah, seemingly. Exactly. I think I'm not going to be surprised if that's the type of deal she's got going on.
I'm not surprised either.
I mean, she's just doing this because, it's all going to, even though we all know wrestling's predetermined, it's still fun to watch the outcomes and stuff.
Absolutely.
I think she knows that since everything's choreographed, I don't have to worry about getting my butt kicked. I don't have to worry about, like, having to deal with the press and cry over being such a big loser when I try to say I was a big winner. And yeah, I mean, she's still going to get people pissed off, like you said. If she gets to be a part of the title match in WrestleMania, and if she wins the title, then people are going to be furious.
For no reason. If WWE makes the mistake, I mean, they make mistakes all the time, but I think they just don't know how to connect to the audience right now, but that's another thing. Let's start from the top of the show. It was AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the WWE title. AJ Styles retains. I was excited that he retained. I actually
Yeah.
had a little bit of doubt that he was actually going to lose, and we were actually going to have the first co-WWE champions.
Yeah, because that was I was talking about some people at work because has that even happened?
Never. It would have
As
been
I
the
say,
first
that
time
would've
two
been
people held the WWE championship.
Like, it would have been historical. I don't know how the two of them would have been able to share that belt, how they would have done it. I feel like if they did do that, they would have done something stupid where they like take a saw and cut the belt in half and like, yeah, we each got our half of the belt.
It would make sense. That's Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn's type of gimmick.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was. I mean,
it was a great match.
yeah, it was a great match actually. I was really, really thrilled by it. And in a way, I'm not surprised that AJ Styles still gets to keep his title. But I also wouldn't have been surprised too if he did lose his title, because it's like, well, in wrestling sometimes they want things to change for, whether it's ratings, views, just history. Like you said, it would have been historical if two guys got to share one title between the two of them. But obviously that didn't happen, so AJ Styles gets to keep it for now.
And which is fine. He's gonna defend a title at Fastlane against somebody, but the thing penciled in right now, anything could change, but officially penciled in, it is AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event of WrestleMania. That's what the fans are asking for, and Vince actually looks like he's going to give it to us.
Yeah.
Second match on the card was the Usos taking on Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and the Usos retained the titles. 2 out of 3 falls, and here's what I liked about it. Usually when you see a 2 out of 3 falls match, it's this team gets the first fall, the other team gets the second fall, and then we have to go to the third fall. They actually let the Usos beat them at both falls.
Yeah.
Which is how it should have been, I think. That's the first time that's ever happened, I actually think, too. I don't think anybody's ever won clean like that.
Yeah, because usually I thought when they did that, it was like one side loses and then like, oh, you're out. Like, that was actually pretty cool how they just like kept it all through there. I mean, you got more bang for your buck, basically, whether you paid to go watch or you just watching WWE Network.
You're right.
It was still all fun to watch.
I was surprised. The men's Royal Rumble was third on the night. I didn't actually expect them to end with the women's Royal Rumble, which was great.
Well, I thought they were going to end with that, but for some reason I thought they were going to do, okay, let's do this whole 30-man competition. And now we're going to do a 30-woman competition. Because at first I was like, man, they're already doing the 30-man Royal Rumble? This is pretty short. Like, is this going to be close to the ending? Like, that's crazy.
Right. When I saw it too, I was like, okay, we still have all these titles, but I was like, all right, maybe they just want to try and see how it works. And I liked it. We had some really good surprises. Rey Mysterio made his return to the ring.
Yeah, that was cool.
He looked awesome too. He looked in shape. I was like, dude, this dude is like 42 years old.
I don't know.
He looks great.
I don't know what it is with like Hispanics, Mexican wrestlers that really don't like. No, seriously, you look at like guys like I'm trying to think of like I don't want to name anyone too old, but I mean you look at like Ric Flair. Obviously he's super old, but he's like super out of shape too when you see him.
Yep.
Someone like Scott Hall and. He's looking really saggedy, and Rey Mysterio. He still looks like Rey Mysterio from when I was a kid. He doesn't look like he's aged. His muscles don't look worn down. He's probably just got metal built in his body. He's probably got the thing that Logan had in fucking X-Men. But no, seriously, he looks great. Though.
He did look awesome. The Hurricane showed up.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
I forgot
hilarious.
all about the Hurricane until he showed up that night because I was like, I remember this guy. As soon as I heard the Hurricane, like, oh, I remember this guy.
And then he comes in and immediately just gets thrown right out over the top of the ring. The one thing I was a little bit pissed off, so WWE is trying to build up this one character, Elias. Did you get to see him that night? I mean, he was obviously in the Rumble.
I've seen him a couple times.
Where he has the guitar and everything like that. They're building up this big character with him. And then John Cena just literally throws him over the top rope. It's like, you just wasted his whole push that you've been trying to do with literally John Cena just eliminating him like nothing.
Yeah, because, half the time they had him waste his time by talking and ranting and talking about himself the whole time, which I think they even said, like, oh, did the clock stop? Or, oh, no, I guess the clock is still going because then you heard 5, 4, 3. And I think, was that when John Cena came out? Or was there, I can't remember who came out after him. But after that, it was like, oh, wait, yeah, no, John Cena, no, hey, he threw Elias out. And yeah, I agree. That was... Because they had their whole beef going on since like Monday Night Raw at the 25th anniversary, so you would have thought that they went longer with that.
Well, Nakamura did end up winning the men's Royal Rumble, and I mean, there's obviously many things still left here with the Royal Rumble show. So the next match on the card was the Sheamus and Cesaro defeated Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan to win the Raw Tag Team titles. The only thing I want to say about this match is the fuck was Seth Rollins wearing? Those pants were ridiculous. The flame pants. Did you see those?
I did.
I was like, what is this he is wearing?
Wasn't he also just in the 30-man competition before
That's
that?
what blew my mind, too. He was just in the 30-man Royal Rumble, too.
That was another reason why that all threw me off, too, because I was like, wait a minute. He was just in that 30-man competition, and then they expect him to just, like, oh, yeah, now I can do my tag team match right after. But, yeah, those pants were ridiculous.
It was a really good match.
Was that one with Jason Jordan also?
Yeah, that's the one with Jason Jordan.
Okay, yeah. The Kurt Angle's son, or half-son.
Yeah, that storyline that is absolutely failing.
He's from Tinley Park.
Yeah, he graduated at Indiana University as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't remember Kurt Angle being in town during that time.
The worst match of the night, Brock Lesnar defeated Braun Strowman Kane to retain the Universal
You
title.
thought that was the worst?
I thought it was terrible.
I think what was terrible is the fact that Brock Lesnar won.
I was expecting Braun Strowman to come out on top on that one too. Did
Yeah.
you see the video where Strowman knees Lesnar and then he actually punches him in the face like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
He legitimately punches him and he's cussing him out. They actually had to block it off the air. Like, he beat the shit out of him for real.
Oh yeah,
And I thought it was pretty funny, but the crowd wasn't into it. It looked, to me, it just looked sloppy. What's penciled in for WrestleMania right now is the Elimination Chamber's coming up. The winner of the Elimination Chamber will face Lesnar at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar is penciled in at WrestleMania right now, and Roman Reigns will defeat Brock Lesnar. I don't know how many times you can try and push Roman Reigns.
He's gonna beat Brock Lesnar?
Yes, that's what they want to do. Lesnar's contract is coming to an end. They don't know if he's going to officially resign.
Right.
And they really think Vince McMahon still thinks he can get Roman Reigns over. Yeah, have you seen the famous gif of Roman Reigns with Vince McMahon?
I don't think I have yet.
There's a famous gif where Roman Reigns is doing this with his shoulder, and Vince McMahon's just like leaning back in a chair, like going off, and then he falls off the chair and everything like that. It's one of the best gifs ever. I'll see if I can put the gif here on this show, like somehow. I don't know if I can, but it's one of the greatest gifs ever.
I'll have to look that one up.
And then, last but not least, on the main card, the Women's Royal Rumble, and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch started it, which I thought was fucking kick-ass.
I was surprised that she lasted so long.
Sasha Banks?
Yeah, she was in it for like over 50 minutes.
Yeah, Sasha Banks lasted a long time.
Because how long was the men's tournament? There's no way it was over 50 minutes, was it?
I know.
For men's?
No, Finn Balor, I think he said he lasted 57 minutes.
In this for the competition they had that night.
Yeah, for the men's one, yes.
Damn.
So it was pretty long.
Yeah.
The women's one was great action. I just felt like it was a little slow.
Yeah.
I did love the surprises, though. We got the Bella twins, Tori Wilson.
Oh, and Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus. Oh,
Kelly. All the
looks
greats.
great.
Yeah, surprisingly, they all look good. Surprisingly, the female wrestlers look better than most of the male wrestlers after like 10 years.
The only woman I will complain about, and this is nothing against her, she is obviously a Hall of Famer, and she's older. She's about Trish Stratus' age. Lita. She looked very sloppy that night. Like, she looked like she had been in a ring a long time. She actually showed.
I forgot who she was.
You forgot who Lita was?
No, all right. Let me put it this way. I forgot that Lita was even there. That's how much, like, I was like, wait, is that Lita? Because I'm looking at her costume get up and everything, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's Lita. When the hell did she get in the ring?
Well, Trish, everyone thought number 30 was going to be Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And then when Trish came out, it was like the arena in Philadelphia exploded.
Oh, yeah.
And she looked like she hadn't missed a beat. She was coming in and kicking a lot of ass. Beth Phoenix looked good. Ember Moon from NXT was the girl that came up with the shoulder, which was all taped up. And she's doing all these crazy ass moves off the top rope.
She was doing really good too, though, for just one arm.
For sure.
She was putting on a great show.
Everybody pretty much knew Asuka was going. The Vegas betting odds were actually that Asuka was going to win this, win the Women's Royal Rumble. So here's my prediction: she's going to go for the Raw Women's title, and I think either they're going to put Ronda Rousey in it and make it a triple threat match, or Ronda goes to SmackDown and challenges Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title.
I think she'll face Charlotte without a doubt. Charlotte's so big right now for the females. Like, I mean, not just the fact that she's big on her own. Honestly, I feel like she's big because of her father. But I mean, aside from that, she's like just as big as her father before the women's community in wrestling. Well, I guess guys like her too, aside from her looks. But
She's not that good looking.
Right, like that. That's why I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say she's a 10. But if I was going to say one of them was a 10, I'd probably say I'm stuck on who's Jim Neidhart's daughter.
Can't think of it right now.
She's the queen of something. They just she has the hit
Queen of Stan Long Island or something like that.
something like that.
Are you talking about Carmella?
No, not Carmella. I gotta look it up. I'll look it up. We'll probably post a little thing in the name on the bottom.
Yeah, we could do that. That's not a problem.
But yeah, no, I can see Rousey challenging Charlotte, and
That's what my estimates are right now. But we
all
don't
I
know
see
for
is
sure.
now all the next all these Raws and SmackDowns are probably gonna have a lot of Rousey just trying to promote herself as much as possible.
That's what the
hype her up.
WWE is going to do. They're going
Right.
to try and push her as hard as they can. So I'll ask you from start to finish from the Royal Rumble, because you watched it from start to finish. This is not including the pre-show. What would you give it as an Overdrive reality rating on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best.
The overall Royal Rumble.
Overall, 10 being the best, 1 being the lowest.
See, overall, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't like the greatest Royal Rumble
For
I've
sure.
seen of all time. So I mean, I'll give it like a solid 8. You know,
See, I will sit here and I will give it a solid 7. Why? Because I'm an asshole and I like to give solid 7s when
Yeah.
I feel like it deserves a solid 7.
I mean that's a good number 2.
So that's actually a great way to wrap up this episode. Tell us what you think in the comments, what you thought of the WWE Royal Rumble. If it was good, if it was better than other ones you've seen. And also, why don't you in the comments let us know what was the worst Royal Rumble you ever seen. And we'll see you guys next time.